Immigrants, DACA, and then the Ninth Circuit decision. We're going to be talking about that right about now. So I think immigration update.
This American Dream segment is brought to you by Aquino & Lowe Law Firm, answering your immigration questions.
Attorney Allison Aquino, hello and welcome to Kababayan, LA.
Hello, Janelle.
Let's talk about DACA. I spoke to Ronnie about that earlier in one segment. 29 cases or 29 petitions have been approved for DACA, and you said your law office had one.
Yes, we're fortunate to have one already.
Yeah, well, they're saying that not too many people, though, are coming forward because they're scared. They're saying that it's a ploy by the government to just get your information out, and then they'll probably arrest you later. Your thoughts on that?
It's unfortunate that people have that thought because there was a similar amnesty back in the 1980s, and people had the same exact fears. And 30 years later, I still find people who have not legalized their status because of fear.
Because they did not take advantage of that amnesty last time.
Exactly. And under DACA, there are specific provisions which prevent the immigration from using that information in order to go out and put people into removal proceedings in order to take, they cannot take negative action. So the main point is applicants who qualify must apply. They are making the worst mistake if they use fear and not apply, because they are absolutely going to have benefits that will help them in moving forward with their lives.
So there you have it, advice from an immigration specialist herself, Attorney Allison Aquino. Also, some people are saying, oh, we'll wait it out for a while, a few months, a few years maybe, and then if nothing goes wrong with those people, then I will apply. You're saying don't wait.
I'm saying no. I mean, you're just essentially wasting time. And naturally, the longer that you wait, the more people who are going to apply, and the longer the processing time periods as well. So it's much better to submit your application early. There's absolutely nothing to worry about. Naturally, you should have your application pre-screened in order to make sure that there are no issues that will be brought up later on.
And that's when you need a lawyer by your side. That's the information on the screen if you want to book an appointment with Aquino & Lowe Law Firm. Allison, speaking of waiting, that's what I did. That's what my family did. We were petitioned, and then I aged out and all that. And I'm hearing that a Ninth Circuit decision is favoring these aged out children.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And so there was a new court case issued by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals just last week, which specifically pertained to children who were originally derivatives on a petition, but then because of the long waiting list, they've aged out. What people don't understand is that there are several provisions in the Child Status Protection Act. One provision helps in keeping kids remain derivative beneficiaries and obtain their green cards at the same time. That involves a math formula that essentially takes the length of time that immigration takes to process an application, and they subtract that from the child's actual age when they get to their place on the waiting list.
Okay.
Now, after you do that math calculation, many children are still over age 21.
Yes.
And so, unfortunately, that particular provision doesn't help them. This new court case pertains to another provision in the CSPA that absolutely saves those children who are no longer eligible to be dependents.
Okay, who are eligible? Who can benefit from this decision?
So any kids who started off as beneficiaries but aged out.
Okay.
They definitely should contact an attorney to see what they can do about moving forward right away.
And they're saying that essentially, even if you age out, you can retain your parents' original priority date.
Exactly.
Does that mean, though, because I remember when when my mom got her petition approved, we were a family. Does that mean that I get to leave if we had this law before, or this decision before? Does that mean that I would have gotten to leave with them?
No.
At the same time?
And so that's the difference. The one provision means that you can get the green card at the same time. The second provision means that you've aged out, so unfortunately you're no longer a dependent and you cannot get the green card at the same time. So you will be separated from your family for some period of time. With this new court case, however, instead of being separated for 10, 15, 20 years, under this new analysis of the Child Status Protection Act, it's just a matter of processing the green card itself.
Okay.
And so, as you point out, under this new case, when the parent comes into the United States, they can then file petitions for the child, and in that petition, they can go ahead and transfer the original priority date to their petition.
I get it, because when my parents came in and they filed for my petition, I had to wait 8 years.
The line. Exactly.
Yes, I had to wait 8 years. So now you're saying that now I could have retained my original.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so in this particular court case, it involved a mother who was petitioned by her own mother. And so at that time, her child was only 13 years old. That category right now is backed up to 1992, so it's 20-year waiting period.
Wow.
And so when that mother came into the United States, she was able to file a petition, but because the way immigration interpreted the law, they did not apply the priority date. Under this new case, that child can now get that presumably 1992 or earlier priority date and immediately move forward with processing the green card.
All right. So what are you waiting for? Don't waste time. If you find yourself in this situation, or if this situation sounds familiar to you, that's the number to call on the screen. Book your appointments now. They also take phone and email consultations. Thank you so much, and more power to you.
Thank you,
And
Janelle.
don't forget their office also in Northern California, along with an office here in Southern California. Information on the screen. More power to you.
Thank you.
We'll be back for more in Kababayan LA. Don't go away.